G'day everyone, Pastor Mike here from St James Barella Anglican Church, as well as Lighthouse Church Barella. It's great to see you here again. Thank you for joining me. So, how'd you go last week in using these contact cards to let your neighbours know that you're willing to care for them and look after them in this time? I managed to use them and get them out to everybody on Crawford Street in Barella. Probably about 140, I think I worked out. There's a lot of apartment blocks here. So far I've had no response, but it is early days and I'm really hoping I get an opportunity to connect with a neighbour and care for them. Let me know how you did. Have you had any response? Have you had a chance to speak to a neighbour and care for them? But how else can we be loving others? Today I have two tips, but both of them are about inviting people to our Easter services. Right at this moment, our whole community is caught up with a massive fear, and a right fear, I think, of the coronavirus. Now, why are we afraid? Well, it's because we're afraid of death, aren't we? That's why we're afraid. We're afraid of death. Now, this is why this is important. Easter is a reminder that Jesus defeated death on the cross. So in the midst of this current fear, the anxiety, the worry, the concern, there is no better way to love your neighbour than by inviting them to our Easter services when we will be reminded about how Jesus defeated death on the cross and offers hope and life to all who follow him. So how can you invite them? Two ways. First way, invite them online. There's never been an easier time to invite a friend to church. They don't even need to leave their own homes. They can even join us at church in their own beds. All you need to do is start watching the online service and then share it or tag your neighbour in it or start a watch party. You could give your neighbour the online URL. There's lots of different ways to do it. And your neighbour can join us at church. They can get a taste of our church from their own lounge room. It's just really easy. So why don't you do that this Sunday, in particular Good Friday and Easter Sunday? Well, the second way to do it is to invite your neighbours more personally. Now, this can be a little bit more difficult in this time of physical distancing, but it's still very possible and very easy. To help you do this is what I'm doing. I've written up a letter. I've written one for Lighthouse and other way around. One for Lighthouse and one for St James Barella. And all I've said in there really is, I'd normally love to invite you to our church services this Easter, but the church building's closed. But Easter is not cancelled. You can join us online, and I've given them the details. I've attached links to these documents in the comments of this video, and you can download it, you can alter it, put your own name on there, print it out and give it to your neighbour. But here's the tip, right? When you give it to your neighbour, my advice is to get a Ziploc bag and put in a few Easter eggs, okay? Just remind them, Easter chocolate fun and those sorts of stuff. Leave them on the doorstep of your neighbour or perhaps just in the letterbox. And here's the pro tip here. Right now, down at Woolies, you can get Easter eggs very, very cheaply. In fact, these are Woolworths Easter eggs. These cost me $2. They've slashed the prices. There's heaps of them, and they would love for you to buy them. So why don't you head down to Woolies, get some Easter eggs, put them in a bag, and just invite some of your neighbours over and to join us at Easter. It'll be great to have you at our Easter services, and it'll be great to have your neighbours to join us too as we celebrate the death of Jesus and the life that he gives to those who follow him. And what a better time to be sharing that with our friends and family. Now, lastly, there's a link in the description to our family Bible study for this Sunday. It's the Palm Sunday one. It's now available. This can be done with your family, with your household, or even just by yourself. And you know what? You don't even need to be a kid to do it. Anyone can do it. It doesn't matter how old or young you are. Why not get your kids to do it during Sunday church? And don't forget to take photos of your great work and send it through to kids@stjamesbarella.org.au. That's kids@stjamesbarella.org.au. Well, I look forward to seeing you at church on Sunday at 10 a.m. or in the afternoon at 4:30 p.m. God bless and see you on Sunday.